Are you struggling with hair loss? Well, before you give up and start rocking that bald look, get yourself a box of Novaxidil. It's the only clinically proven triple action hair loss treatment on the market. It has 5% minoxidil, which is the gold standard for regrowth. But minoxidil alone will not prevent further loss. For that, Novaxidil uses DHT blocker ketoconazole with added nicotinamide, vitamin K, biotin, and collagen peptides. Basically, every single ingredient you could possibly think of in one product. So stop rubbing peppermint oil behind your ears and get something that works. Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's Novaxidil.
All right, here we go. Anabolic Academy only on Serious and Silliness Bodybuilding. So, what is Anabolic Academy? This is the first time you're tuning in. Well, you ask me questions about bodybuilding and fitness or whatever you'd like to know, and I answer them. So, of course, how do you ask me the questions, or where can you ask me the questions? You can email me, John_Livia at Yahoo, or you can go to my other email, UncleJohn1201 at gmail.com. You can go to Instagram, Serious and Silliness Instagram. You go to Facebook, John Livia. You go to TikTok, although we almost didn't have TikTok, but you go to TikTok, John Livia, and you can ask me any question, and I will answer them. And it will be every Tuesday morning at 7 a.m. that this episode will be on my channel, Serious and Silliness Bodybuilding. So like, share, subscribe. So I guess we'll just go right into the questions. But I'm taping this one early on a Monday morning because I'm working Monday night, which is rare. I never work nights, but I have to. This Monday night, I go back to normal tomorrow. So I'm taping this one now so that we could put it up for Tuesday morning. But all right, so here we go. Question one is from Colby_baby at Instagram. Are visible abs the indicator to start bulk? Asking as a dude currently on cut. No, not necessarily. I mean, obviously, your bulking stage, or whatever you want to call it, would come after you're done competing for the season. That would be the most obvious way to do it, right? Because you want to stay in shape for your contest. But if you are just want to put muscle on because you want to put muscle on, you're not competing, you're just trying to put muscle on, so you want to do a clean bulk, well then no, not necessarily. That's not a good indicator. Your abs, and if you could see them, aren't a good indicator. There are some people that have abs all year round, no matter how hard they eat and how much calories they take in. And then there are some people that have a very difficult time keeping visible abs. So no, basically it would be up to you. And normally what I do is when I'm not competing, well, I don't compete anymore, but I usually pick a period of time. I go, okay, during this period of time is when I'm going to be eating hard, training hard, getting the calories in, trying to put muscle on, training heavy, so on and so forth. This is the period of time, no matter what that period of time is. And then after that period of time is then when I start cutting back on the calories, doing a little bit of extra cardio, eating cleaner, whatever it takes to get lean, rotating carbs, intermittent fasting, so on and so forth. And then I do that until I think I look good enough, if you will. Obviously, looking good for, walking on the beach and doing a contest is completely different, right? I mean, it is just worlds apart. So that's basically it. If you're not a competitive athlete, if you're not a competitive bodybuilder, then it's all up to you. But that's probably the best way I would do it. Take these particular months, whatever, 6 months, 4 months, whatever it is. And this is what I'm going to try to put as much muscle on as this at this point. And then I would start leaning down and seeing how much actual lean muscle mass I put on in a cutting phase, I guess you could say, right? Okay, next question. Fran is the man. Because guess what? Fran is always the man. First question. Thoughts on what is this? Thoughts on incorporating cold water plunges and sauna use for bodybuilding. All right. I mean, well, the benefits of cold water plunges. Let's see. I looked it up. reduce inflammation, improve circulation, enhance metabolism, strengthen immune system. And for sauna, the benefits for sauna are stress, skin care, immune function, relaxation, muscle soreness. These really aren't things that should be staples in a bodybuilding world. If you do it and you enjoy it and you see some benefit from it, great. But really, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. Bodybuilding is eat, train, sleep, do it again the next day. That's basically it. I mean, you know, how can I? You don't see, Samson Dowda eat, train, sleep, cold plunge. Next day, eat, train, sleep, cold plunge. No, you see him eat, train, sleep, repeat. Eat, train, sleep, repeat. That's what it is. Some people will like to make things more complicated. Bodybuilding is really not that complicated. Okay. You get your meals in, you get your nutrition in, you train hard at the gym, you get enough sleep. Maybe you stay on top of your supplements, maybe you stay on top of your super subs, and that's about it. Like, there's really not much more. So, as far as my opinion with the sauna and with ice plunges, if that's what you like and you enjoy doing it, go right ahead. Will it give you some benefits? I'm sure it will. Will it really contribute to bodybuilding benefits? Nah, I wouldn't really say so. You know. Next question from Fran is the man. Is it safe to drink raw eggs just like in the movie Rocky? Okay. Um, so the reason why people don't eat raw eggs is salmonella poisoning. So it is rare that you would get salmonella poisoning from eggs, but it can happen. So why take the chance? So just make your eggs. Plus, drinking raw eggs is disgusting. And people aren't pressed for that much time where you just have to drink raw eggs. If that's the case, just have a protein drink. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Matter of fact, Dave Palumbo tells a great story. He used to make these shakes when he was trying to put muscle on, and he would take 12 whole eggs, and he was so paranoid about salmonella poisoning that I would put them in a microwave for a little while, and then he would put them in his shake with rice and protein packet. Back then it was metrics, whatever else he put in, and it was just this huge shake that he would have to down, and it was like basically a warm shake because he had to warm up the eggs. But I guess it's a quick way to get a lot of calories, a lot of protein, a lot of carbs down, which is what basically shakes are. But yeah, man, there's no reason to eat raw eggs. There really isn't. I mean, I don't even know if they did that in the 70s when Stallone was portraying Rocky. I have no idea. Okay. When buying canned tuna, is it better to get the one with water or olive oil? All right. Well, I've always gotten the one with water only because, I've always counted my fats and my calories and, my protein. And you know, when I was competing, it would be, splitting hairs. So I would never buy the one in oil because the one in oil contributes more to fat and calories in your tuna. Now, usually it's olive oil, so it's really not bad for you at all. It's actually a healthy fat. If you're, not really caring about getting lean or crossing, or splitting hairs, then get the one with olive oil. It tastes a little better, you know. It's really not much of a difference. But if you're, counting calories and counting fats and your carbs, I would stick to the one with the water, because you could significantly reduce the amount of calories that comes in that tuna packet, if you will, and you could make it up in the rest of your diet if you need to, or if you don't need to. It depends on the actual diet. Everybody takes in a little bit more or less fats. Everybody takes in a little bit more or less protein. Same thing with carbohydrates. So that's why I would always get the one on water, because I would be always monitoring that stuff, right? But for the most part, if you just want tuna for protein and you're just looking to put muscle on and you're really not counting the calories, either one's fine. Let's see. Next question. Last question, actually, too. Do you think you achieved your peak genetic potential bodybuilding physique, or do you think you had more in the tank? During my 20s, I took a long period of time off competing. I competed at 23, and then I stopped because I wanted to establish some kind of a career and a future and so on and so forth. So during my 20s, I did not fulfill my potential. Matter of fact, I was actually natural for a long time. I didn't touch anything. I was just going to the gym, natural training, and just kind of staying in shape and kind of concentrating on my future, right? Not so much bodybuilding. So no, I don't think I actually fulfilled my genetic potential, but I still don't believe it would have been good enough to get a pro card, even if I did. I just don't believe that. I wasn't the type of guy that, looked at weights and muscle would grow. I'd have to put a lot of hard work time into it. Even when I did use anabolics, I still had to put a lot of hard work. Not that these guys don't, but obviously it comes a lot faster when you're using anabolics. And then once I got to my 30s, it was really just, the last hurrah. And but no, because of the way I managed my bodybuilding time within my 20s and my 30s, no, I didn't fulfill my truest potential. But I don't regret it because I honestly don't think it would have been much better than what I did. I think you sometimes everybody has to be real with themselves sometimes, okay? Like you have to see the way your body responds. You have to see um if you're if you're fit, if you're genetically fit for bodybuilding. And then you have to kind of give yourself a long, hard look in the mirror and say, am I wasting my time? Or is this something that could be really worth it? And sometimes you need somebody to tell you if you have a good friend or a family member. And sometimes you have to just come to realization. I can't tell you how many people still my age or older are still bodybuilding. And it's like, dude, or girl, pack it in. It's over. It's a wrap. You're done. I mean, you never had it to begin with, so stop. And then to them, it's like, well, I love bodybuilding and so on and so forth. But to me, there are other ways to fill your void when it comes to bodybuilding and also benefit yourself instead of wasting your time, money, and energy. So, me, I think I've said this before, this podcast fills that bodybuilding void. Even though I love the sport, this fills the void because I can talk about it. I talk about with elite bodybuilders. We talk about we answer fitness and bodybuilding questions like we do on this show. And then at the same time, it's still building a future and making a profit so that I can continue doing this. People that are chasing bodybuilding dreams, especially as you get older, late 30s, early 40s, into your 50s, um, you're not young anymore. You can't put the muscle on you used to. If you would have made it already if it was meant to be. Um, and you're putting yourself at risk, putting all those drugs into your body and so on and so forth. Even lifting heavy at my age and lifting heavy when you're in your 20s is completely different. Yeah, I'm pretty strong for my age, but there were times where I push that weight and I go, shit, should have fucking did that. That's gonna bother me tomorrow. Oh, or my back, or my lower back, or when you do that in your 20s, especially if you're on anabolics, it's like nothing. Like you can train like that the next day, no problem. You're just a you're just a beast at that age, you know. Um, Believe me, the last time I threw up 130 pound or 125-pound dumbbells, I felt that in my shoulder. I was like, fuck. So I dropped the weight and I was like, shit. All right, I'm not gonna do this next time. I'm gonna stick to plate loaded machines for the next couple of chest days, and then maybe I'll go back to dumbbells. And that's how you have to operate as an older guy until you get to the point where you just go, oh, I'm not doing free weights anymore. I'm just going to be doing fucking plate loaded or hammer strength or machines or whatever the case may be. That's just, it is a cycle of life. That's it. So, and not to mention that, especially as you get older, bodybuilding is a very selfish sport. So you have to, it's, you have to isolate everybody. And I don't think it's worth it to do that in your 30s, 40s, 50s. It's like, oh, this is what I want. Well, what you want is in what you want is internally damaging, whether it be with fans, friends, family, because you're isolating yourself. It just doesn't, it's not worth it for me. It's not, it just doesn't seem worth it, especially if you get your pro card later on. What are you going to do? Oh, I'm 40. I got my pro card. What are you going to do? Stand next to fucking Martin Fitzwater on stage now? Great. Anyway, all right, guys, that does it for another edition of Anabolic Academy. This is Serious and Silliness Bodybuilding. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and believe me, a lot more content coming up. Later. Peace.